Did a TV show fail because it moved too fast for 1982? You're in the right place. We're unpacking how a one-season parody crammed so many gags and celebrity drop-ins into every minute that ABC said viewers had to actually watch to get it. Stay with me as we count 7 moments. The recurring bit that killed Fame on arrival, the cameos you caught, the mythic one you didn't, and how that lost clip turned a cancellation into a cult. Ready to see how Speed became legacy?
Police Squad in color.
Number 1. The special guest star gag. How do you make Fame a setup and a punchline at the same time? You end it before the plot even breathes. That's the core bit. The show announces a special guest star. The music swells, the voiceover goes full hard-boiled, and then gone. The opening credits aren't credits. They're a parody machine, built from the bones of old-school crime dramas with brass blaring like it's about to deliver gravitas. Instead, it delivers a trap. Here's the twist. In early 80s TV, a guest star was a promise. A name on the card meant they'd anchor a scene, draw eyes, maybe save a time slot. This show flips the contract. Why risk it? Because the joke lands only if the audience expects comfort. The faster the strike, the cleaner the cut. Watch the device at work. Lorne Greene gets introduced with all the ceremony of a legend, and he's instantly rolled under a car. Lawrence Henderson beams, then a hail of bullets shuts the door on the bit. The ritual wipes the slate before the story even starts. Nothing is safe, and your attention is non-negotiable. It also doubles as a speed test. Blink and you miss not just the gag, but the critique inside it. Celebrity stunt casting becomes a disposable prop. The show tells you in 2 seconds how to watch it. Forward-leaning, eyes up, no coasting. Repeat it across episodes and the rules shift. Continuity doesn't matter. Setups are self-contained. It runs on gag economy like a trailer that eats itself, selling you intensity while consuming the very thing it sells. The joke isn't an accessory, it's the engine. That's the mini payoff. In 10 seconds, you get the pace and the tone. Rapid, deadpan, hostile to passive viewing. And once your eyes adjust to that speed, we can talk about the faces that actually made it on screen. Briefly. Number 2. The cameos we did see. Which cameo told you the joke before the plot even began? The opening credits did the work, names flash, the score hits, and the gag detonates on cue. Lorne Greene appears and is gone under a car. Georg Stanford Brown pops up and drops out. Florence Henderson beams for a beat, then gunfire writes the punchline. William Shatner gives you one sly grin, and chaos wipes the slate. Robert Goulet and William Conrad take their turn. And over all of it, the recurring card, Rex Hamilton as Abraham Lincoln, draws a pistol and fires back. A visual drum, hit you can count on. Cameos usually slow a scene. TV builds a little pedestal, lets you admire the face, then returns to business. Here, the show hits the gas. Another face, another punchline, next frame. Fame is a speed bump you barely feel. The point isn't reverence, it's rhythm. Watch how the bits are staged. The violence is quick cut and deadpan, timed to the freeze-frame title style that locks a smile mid-disaster. Shatner's grin doesn't buy him a second. It primes the shock. Each entrance is a micro-sketch with one setup, one turn, and an instant blackout. Like a street magician's flourish, you realize what happened a beat after it's over. That's why these cameos prove the gag density. They hit the exact same structural beat every week, so your first laugh lands on schedule. Not because of a catchphrase, but because the timing trains you. The names are cues, the cuts are symbols, the silence is the rim shot. Quick pause before we dive into the next hidden meaning. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button right now. We've got even deeper Police Squad theories. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Number 3. The legend, John Belushi. How does a missing clip become the loudest joke the show ever told? By never airing and letting everyone else repeat it for decades. The reported John Belushi appearance was filmed like the others. A special guest star set up to die in the opening beat. Then tragedy hit, and the broadcast cut that beat. The punchline vanished, and the silence got louder. Overnight, a gag built to be tossed away turned radioactive. Air it and you look cruel. Cut it and you create a question people can't stop asking. Which choice protects the show's tone? Which one honors the audience? That's the bind. A 2-second laugh becomes an ethical line. Belushi fit the Zaz mode perfectly. Chaotic, beloved, fast. His presence carries instant energy, the kind that sells a joke on contact. In the original plan, it's a quick shock and a clean exit. No scene, no dialogue, just the card, the hit, and the cut. Now, the story lives off-screen, told in retrospectives and side notes, the kind of thing friends explain to each other between clips. Here's the insight. The absence scales the joke. The missing 2 seconds turn into a cultural question mark. It's like a song with the downbeat removed. You feel the space more than you would have heard the note. And because there's nothing to roll back and watch, the myth grows where the footage should be. Number 4. The aftermath, tragedy, and lost media. What happens when a joke gets cut by history, not by an editor? You feel the hole. The filmed gag turns into unaired material, and the show, already limping from a 4-episode run with 2 more burned off later, carries a blank space where a laugh should be. The absence isn't just a missing beat, it's a new story. Then the network's line collides with reality. Viewers had to watch to appreciate it sounds tidy until a key moment can't be watched at all. You're told to pay closer attention, but the frame isn't there. That's not a note, that's a contradiction. The show's core rhythm set by those surgical openings now has a skipped downbeat. Here's the context that locks it in. Early 80s syndication didn't serve 2-second archaeology. Home media was slow, limited, and selective. No bonus menus, no searchable clips. If something didn't air, it didn't exist for most viewers. That scarcity converts into myth because there's no easy path to proof. Lost media makes fans into archivists. The show's speed invites rewatching, replays, frame-by-frame checks. But the missing cameo denies that instinct, so the hunt gets sharper. You don't find a clip, you collect rumors, side notes, and secondhand confirmations. The chase becomes its own entertainment. Here's the contrast. The joke density punished casual viewing, you look away and miss 3 gags. But the lost clip rewarded the obsessive. If you cared enough to dig, you became part of the story. The exact audience ready to keep the title alive when the network moved on. Mini payoff. Tragedy and scarcity fuse into a cult hook. The absent opening shot becomes the show's most replayed scene in your head. Time to a laugh no one can actually hear. So what if that 1 second had aired as planned? Would the arc of failure look different? Or would the legend lose its edge? Number 5. The what if factor. If one clip can tilt a legacy, what would it have changed? Let's test the counterfactual. The cameo airs as intended. 2 seconds, a title card, the hit, the cut. It lands as a clean, cold, open laugh, and the episode moves on. No pause, no discourse, no off-screen echo. But here's the twist. Airing risks reading as crass in the moment. Cutting created reverence after the fact. Which path grows cult status? The fast gag plays like the others. Funny, then gone. The cut turns that same beat into a story that lives outside the frame. One choice harvests a laugh. The other plants a legend. Look at the design. The joke is built for speed. No setup beyond the card, no aftermath beyond the cut. On broadcast, it would flow with the show's internal rhythm, then dissolve. Remove it, and you create negative space that critics and fans keep filling. Obits and retrospectives multiply the echo because they point to the blank, not the footage. Think of it like a B-side that never dropped. The unreleased track always sounds better in your head because you supply the groove. Mystique beats mastery when the audience finishes the phrase. You can't overplay a rumor, you can only repeat it. Mini payoff. The what if answers itself. The speed works best when you have to chase it. The chase made the cult. You come for the joke. You stay because you're still looking for the beat you never got to see. And that chase set up the next chapter. The films that finally moved at a scale audiences could follow. Number 6, the legacy of the cult. How does a fast TV joke become a blockbuster language? By scaling the same deadpan until audiences lean forward. The line runs clean. The hard-nosed hero stays the same, but the canvas gets wider. Bigger sets, wider frames, and just enough space between gags for you to catch the setup, the sight, and the aftershock. Theaters flipped the note that TV treated as a problem. On broadcast, you were told to watch closely. In a theater, you paid too. That contract changes everything. The screen is larger, the sound cues are clearer, and the crowd laughs in waves that teach the timing as you sit there. Take the umpire sequence. A straight-faced cop steps onto a diamond and turns rule enforcement into a ballet of bad calls, showboating, and escalating bits. Or those wild sight gags, props stacked with hidden jokes, backgrounds that sneak in the tag, a slow pan that reveals the payoff right as the music swells. Priscilla Presley plays the anchor, grounding the nonsense so the absurdity lands harder. Meanwhile, the score sells sincerity, which makes each visual undercut snap sharper. Here's why it works. The film format stretches beats without draining speed. You still get the density, wordplay, props, reaction shots, but the timing breathes. It's like a drum fill before the crash. The pause makes the hit feel bigger. Audiences sync to that rhythm fast. Continuity also matters now. Frank Drebin carries over, but roles shift around him. Partners, bosses, foils, so familiarity builds. The persona locks in. You know his instincts, which lets the jokes layer on character instead of starting from zero each time. Mini payoff. What stalled on TV becomes the blueprint for 80s and 90s parody. The issue was never quality. It was broadcast speed. Which is why the final beat lands. This cult didn't start by winning. Speed made it invisible, then unforgettable.